This is Josh here from InsideWrestlingTruth, and my guest today is Sabastan Eros. How you doing, man?
I'm wonderful, wonderful.
How's life?
Life is incredible because I'm Sabastan Eros, and life is always good. I'm Sabastan Eros.
All right, man. Tell us where you're from and who trained you.
I'm from my mom's vagina. That's the only place I can claim to legally be from because I've been a lot of places. So that's the only place I can say I am from. It's where I came from. Who trained me? I was trained originally by these two guys, Brian Blade and Big Daddy Slash. And then after that, I got picked up by Bobo Brazil Jr. And he kind of molded me into the creature that I am today.
So how did you get into the business?
I always wanted to be a wrestler, like my entire life. And everybody told me, you're too small, you're never going to be a wrestler. At the age of 17 years old, I was a senior in high school. I walked into a building that used to be a toilet factory that had wood bricks as floors, and I began training to be a wrestler. And that's pretty much it. That's the start of this fabulous person that I am.
Who are some guys you followed growing up, and what are some of your all-time favorite gimmicks?
I grew up in the 80s. I'm that old, people, even though I look this good. But I was a Hulkamaniac through and through growing up. My first memory of wrestling is Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant from WrestleMania 3. The whole build up to that is one of my first memories in life, that I remember. I don't remember a lot of other crap from my childhood, but I remember that. I was a big Hulkamaniac. Rick Rude, love Rick Rude. Ted DiBiase, Ric Flair, Great Muta, Jushin Liger, Bill Dundee. Watched a lot of Memphis because that was just kind of in the area I was at. And so all those guys, PG-13, all that stuff was kind of big stuff when I was little.
Who's the stiffest guy you ever worked with?
I don't know. That's hard to judge because different people are different on different days. It's like the Amazing Pookie can be a stiff guy, but probably the stiffest person I've ever worked with, probably Josiah Kane, just because when me and him wrestle each other, we might as well be in a street fight because we just don't pull anything back. We will beat the shit out of each other, just because. And so it's been pretty bad.
Who are three guys in the business you respect the most?
Tracy Smothers, first off, because he's done so much, and he's just somebody to just look after. And every time I'm on a show with him, before I go out and wrestle, he will tell me to have a good match. And most of the time, he will watch my match. And when I come back, he will tell me what I did wrong and what I did right and how to improve. And it's like I have great respect for that. And it's like I don't know why he does that every time, with all my matches, if he gets a chance, but he does. And I respect that. And it's like I love that. Vic the Bruiser is another guy because he's taught me a lot. Not even having to be in the ring with him or anything like that, just in the back and stuff like that. And he kind of, is kind of drawn to me too, and kind of been one of those guys to pull me in. Bobo Brazil Jr. too, because he trained me and taught me a bunch of stuff, and he's got me a bunch of places and a lot of good bookings, and where I've made good money. So I'm very thankful for that. So I respect all three of those guys.
Is there any guys in the indies you haven't worked with that you want to?
Jimmy Jacobs is one, just because I get compared a lot to him, and he's incredible talent, and I think that would be a good match. Anybody really that it's like if I haven't worked somebody, I want to work them because I can learn something from anybody that I work. It's everybody I wrestle, I can learn something from, whether they're good or shitty. I can walk it out of the ring learning something.
Do you have any memories of horrible matches?
Yeah, I'm sure I do. I've worked my fair share of turds, and I'm pretty sure people said that their matches with me have been turd matches at some point or another. Because I haven't always been the greatest, and I'm sure as hell not the greatest now. But I I can't like pinpoint any that like stick out in my mind that are just like super horrible, because you win some, you lose some. You know, it's like not every match is going to be 5-star. And you know, if it's a shitty match, you just deal with it and go on to the next.
All right, we talked about the horrible matches. What are some memories of your best matches?
Best, like recent history, the best match I've had was June of last year, 2013. Me and Lennox Norris, the D1W heavyweight title, and that match was magic. We had a big build up to it, and it was just a magic match. And there's a point in the match, and it's like before we lock up and we're circling around the ring, and there's people and they're going, let's go Lennox, let's go Sabastan, and it's just going back and forth and getting louder and louder. And me and him stop and just look at the crowd and then look at each other, and we lock horns, and it was like that magic moment. You know, it was like a Ric Flair, Dusty Rhodes kind of thing, and it was, you know, and it's like it captivated the crowd. So that's like probably to me like stands out. It's like maybe, you know, and I wrestled Isaiah one time in a little town called Springville, Indiana, and that was a really incredible match, and that meant a lot to me personally, because at the time I had come off of taking a break from wrestling because I just got tired of bullshit and politics, and like I needed like something to light a fire under me, and that match kind of like spoke out to me, because it was just one of those matches. It was incredible, and we walked back in the locker room, and the promoter goes, y'all are going to be the main event next show, because none of us can top what y'all just did out there.
What's a night on the town with Sabastan like?
Oh goodness. Let's open up another one of these for that. Well, that depends on how drunk I get, or inebriated by other substances. Most of the time, a night on town with me is going to be entertaining. It is going to be fun. At some point tonight, I'm going to hit on lots of women, and hopefully go home with 1 or 2 or 5 of those women, and have them find out what Marilyn Monroe's secret is in my bedroom. We're not going to talk about that. But it's going to be fun, nonetheless. It will be entertaining. And if the right song plays, I will end up dancing and taking clothes off and making money.
What's the top 3 promotions you've worked for?
That's D1W is home to me right now. So that's like probably my top right now, just because I get some opportunities to work some good people there. I like working at SMPW, because that show is like so like crazy, and like I don't have to like worry about bullshit there. I just go and have fun, and so that's like my break. After that, I really don't know. Like, I've worked for some places that were just great. Like Rude Boy up in Michigan, in Detroit. I loved working for him because his shows were nicely run, and I didn't have to worry about bullshit there. It's like I went there. It's like, this is what you do. Is, you know, go out there and wrestle this guy, and I go out there and wrestle, and I get paid. And, you know, it's just relaxed, and, even though it's a fucking 6-hour drive.
What's the worst 3 promotions you've worked for?
Oh, the worst 3. Number 1, Wolfpack Championship Wrestling. Just because it should have never been a promotion to begin with. And the only reason I worked there is because Bobo Brazil Jr. called me up and said, Sebastian, will you come wrestle for me? Now, I can't complain about the matches I had there, because I only wrestled there 3 times. I wrestled Daniel Quinn twice, and we had incredible matches. And the 3rd time I wrestled there, I wrestled Too Tough Tony in the main event. And all 3 of them were incredible matches. And like, for me, it's like, I thought they were, you know, for me, they were great. But that promotion was just, it was just duty. After that, I don't know, I once wrestled at this show in Tennessee called Country Boy Wrestling. Okay? And this place was in the backwoods of some little town in Tennessee, and it was shit, and All they told us was to turn right at this Napa on this road. And there were 5 motherfucking Napas on this road. So eventually we found this place, and it's this old, like, abandoned, I don't know what, tire factory or something. And it was just horrible. Like, the announcer couldn't announce. They didn't play the music. I remember walking out to the ring, and there were like 5 people out there, and all of them were like the people who ran the promotion's wife and kids. And I said, this place needs more cowbell. And we left that show early, me and some buddies of mine. We kind of, somebody got injured, and we had to leave real quick. So, but the match I had there was good. Because the guys I was wrestling, but the promotion was just shitty. After that, I don't know. Like, I try not to knock on promotions too much, because, you know, there haven't been too many horrible ones. But those are the only 2 I can think of that are just, like, garbage.
What's your most memorable moment in wrestling?
My most memorable moment. It might have to go back to me and Lennox at the D1W. Just because that match was... There was just so much electricity in that match, and it was just, to me, it was magic, and that's what I want to do in wrestling, is make magic, because nobody believes in magic anymore in wrestling. You know, it's like 2 guys going out there, and it's like but I want to make magic, and that's what I did, and that was my goal that night, and I achieved it.
If you could change one thing about independent wrestling, what would it be?
Payoffs. I wish we got better payoffs. I think, and that not just for me, for everybody. I wish everybody got paid a good, decent amount. Because a lot of us bust our ass and drive long ways. And people like me, I give up time with my kid, and there's people who give up time with their wives and everything else. And that's sacrifice, and that's part of the business. But it'd be nice if we got a little more compensation for it.
What's been your worst injury?
I've actually never had a serious injury wrestling, believe it or not. I've had like some kind of things, like when I was training and stuff. One time I went to do a hurricane run off the top rope training, and the guy caught me and my nuts hit his chin, and that sucked. We like both laid on the mat for 30 minutes because apparently my nuts hurt his chin. I guess I had balls of steel, maybe. But it sucked. But other than that, like, I've never had any serious injuries wrestling. Think whatever higher beings watch over me, and so I'm thankful for that.
Alright, this next question was sent in to me because they found out I was going to interview you, so I have to ask this.
Alright.
Do rats play a vital role in the independent wrestling scene today?
Hell yes! There's one, Alistair Fear once did a shoot interview, and that question was on there, and I wholeheartedly agree with what his answer to that was. Rats are a necessity. Now, this might take me a while, because you done got me started on this subject. Rats are very important, because they are there to help boys out. If you need a ride to the show, give you a ride. If you need a little sexual healing, they're there for you. If you and your girlfriend need your electric bill paid, they're there for you. That's what they're supposed to do. Here's where the problem lies. A lot of guys in this business have fucked us up for guys like me, because they want to do what I call romancing the rats. And they want to talk all this, oh, woo, 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 girl, I love you, blah, blah, blah. Oh, you're the only girl I want, to all these rats, when you're only supposed to use them. And they know they're getting used. They know that's all they want. They want to be used by you. But these guys want to romance them and tell them I love them, and you know, and all this stuff. Oh, girl, I love you. I want to marry you. I'll take care of you and your babies. That's some bullshit. I was like, don't do all that stuff. You're ruining it for me. Because I'm going to be straight up and be like, look, this is going to be like, it's like, I'm going to come to your house and be like, you're going to have sexual relations with me. You're going to get up out your bed. You're going to lay on the couch with another wrestler, and I'm going to sprawl out like a starfish in your bed. That's a true story. It happened. And then, when I'm tired of you, because you done made me some burnt biscuits and burnt bacon and some sloppy eggs, and I'm going to talk about how horrible you are and what the fuck happened to rats that could cook, and I'm going to leave, and I ain't never going to come back. That's a true story too.
All right. Last fall, I seen a match with you and Simon at D1W. It was awesome. How do you feel about working with Simon?
You know, I like working with Simon, even though we have two very contrasting styles. He's got a very different style than I do, but we made stuff work, and I'm proud of that. I felt the matches I had with him were very good matches. I don't have a problem with working Simon. It's just we have a very contrasting style, and I thought that would maybe cause some conflict of interest there, but it didn't. We still made stuff work. It's like I'm not greatly fond of some of the stuff he did. He likes to do a little more crazier stuff than I do. But it's like I did go a little bit out of my realm in the matches with him, but they were still good, and people liked them, and that's in the end, that's all that matters.
All right, I'm going to name some names off to you, and you just give me a definition of them or what you think about them. Okay. We'll start off with Madman Pondo.
Madman Pondo. Yeah, I like Madman Pondo. He's pretty funny. I have him to thank for my summer fling of 2013, because if he had never got Odorous booked on that D1W show, I would have never met this redhead chick who gave incredible BJs. So thanks, Madman Pondo, for that, even though I tried to kick those girls out of the locker room. But he said, they're with Odorous, what can I do? And I said, well, if they're going to be in the locker room, then I'm going to give them what for. And I gave this chick a lap dance in the locker room. Next thing you know, she loved me, and yeah, I fucked that one up.
Cage Cutler.
Nymphomaniac. It's romancing the rats. He's one of them rat romancers.
Juicy Jimmy Felcher.
Oh, I love Jimmy. I love Juicy Jimmy. He's a great guy. Even though he's wanted to see my genitalia a little bit too much in his life, and it's okay. I let him see a picture one time for a 24-disc Juice and Liger set, because I just don't care what the hell showing somebody a picture of it. It's world famous anyways. Everybody's seen it already. So,
Alistair Fear.
I like Alistair. I don't really have any crazy opinion of Alistair. He's just another guy I've been in the locker room with. He's always treated me nice. I've always treated him nice, and that's just about it. He's an alright guy. I don't have a problem with him.
Rick Brady.
Rick Brady. He has let me be a vital role in his company. And he as far as a person goes, he has been a person that has been there for me on a personal level, and and so that's kind of good for me. So I have no problem with him at all. He's a friend of mine. I like it that way.
Clyde Richardson.
Someone that should never been in the wrestling business. Now, I'm sure people will say that about me too, but this guy should have never been in the wrestling business. Now, personally, I really don't have any opinion on him because I give a fuck less. But wrestling-wise, garbage. And if he dies, he don't even deserve a 10-bell salute.
Well, we talked about this earlier, and we just got done talking about Clyde. What do you think about Wolfpack Championship Wrestling?
Well, we already know how I feel about Wolfpack Championship Wrestling. Because I don't give a fuck about Wolfpack Championship Wrestling. Because it was a horrible place. I got to work good matches there, and it was only because of Bo. Like when I got paid there, it came out of Bo's pocket. So,
what's been your bloodiest match?
My bloodiest match, 2005 or 6. I had a tag team match in Springville, Indiana. Me and Christian Skyfire, piece of shit, against Josiah Kane and this guy named Chris Payne. A double dog collar match, and it got pretty bad with the chain thing, and they ended up crucifying me, and I had blood all over the place, like I was covered in blood, like it got all over my tights I had, and it's like I had to take a Q-tip and clean all the blood out of there, but it was pretty bloody. It was like, I'm pretty sure those fans thought I was dead, but It's like, and I didn't go back to that town for like 2 years.
What titles have you held in your career?
Let's see. I held the D1W heavyweight title for like 33 seconds before they reversed the decision on me. That's my crowning achievement, because that actually meant a lot to me, because that match meant a lot to me. TVW light heavyweight title, even though that company, you know, it's not like a big company or anything. That title meant the most to me because of the person who I got to drop it to. Because I got to drop it to Sean Northstar. He's like my protege. And so that made me have, like, that was my crowning achievement of being that champion, was like losing that belt. Bobo Brazil's promotion, InsideWrestlingTruth, I think I've held like every title there. Otherwise, I don't really care about belts too much. You know, nowadays most places they really don't mean anything like they used to. So it's like, if you want to put a belt on me, that's okay. It's just extra shit I had to carry in my bag. But I mean, it still means something to me if you think I should carry your belt.
All right, this next question is going to get you some...
Oh, wait, I got, and I've held like a bunch of tag team titles with Josiah Kane. Like in almost every promotion we've wrestled at, we've held tag team titles as a tag team. That's important.
Okay.
Best tag team partner.
All right, we need the truth to this next question, all right?
Okay.
Who are some guys in the business you have no use for?
Clyde Richardson, Christian Skyfire. I don't have use for him in life. Still want my $100, buddy. I'm gonna get it by hook or by crook. Just saying. I know you're gonna watch this because you watch all these, and I'm sure you're gonna get pissed off and put some whiny Facebook post up about it, and that's okay. And I'm sure people will tell me about it, but I still want my $100. That's personal money he owes me, not business money. Business money, he owes me a bunch of Jaeger and strippers. Anybody else, there's not much. You know, I get along with most people. There's not very many people in the wrestling business that I dislike.
Why should someone come out and watch a Sabastan match?
You're going to be thoroughly entertained. You know, it's like, you know, as far as my wrestling in-ring talent goes, I'm okay. I'm nothing special. I'm just your average run-of-the-mill guy as far as in-ring work goes. But I'll entertain the fuck out of some people, because that's what I do. You know, it's like some people don't like the whole sports entertainment thing. It's like, but that's what wrestling is. It's a form of entertainment, and that's what I do. That's my job. Everybody else can go out there and put on these 5-star wrestling matches, and that's fine with me, and I appreciate that. I know my job is to go out there and entertain people, because people don't want to see me do moonsaults and all that crap. People just want to see me strut, and that's it.
What's one word to describe Sabastan?
Me.
How do you want to be remembered when you retire?
Sabastan Eros will never retire from professional wrestling. For one of two reasons. One, because you have to make a lot of money at something to retire. And that may never happen. Or two, I'm going to be one of those old fucks that never quits. And I'm just going to, even if I'm famous and make it big, I'm just going to keep on going and going and going. And I tell everybody this, and these are true words. The day I physically cannot wrestle, I will put a gun in my mouth and blow my brains out. And everybody thinks I'm joking about that. But as long as my daughter is an adult, that is what I do.
Sabastan, I appreciate you coming and doing this interview with me, man. It means a lot.
Thanks for having me.
Do you have any last words or anything you want to say to your fans?
Yes, if you're a fan of mine, please come to every show I'm at, because every ass in that seat helps with money on that show that I will hopefully get. And if you are a single, well, fuck that, it don't matter if you're single. If you are hot and you're into Sabastan Eros and you want to do the giggity, you hit me up. I have a Facebook. It's like you can hit me up on there. I will give it to you proper. This is the truth. I don't care, especially if you're a rat. If you want to buy me stuff, go ahead and buy it for me. I will gladly accept all gifts, donations, and anything else. But if you're just a regular fan, you come watch me wrestle, watch me do my thing. You'll be entertained. You will leave the show happy, and you will probably come back to watch me again. Because Sabastan Eros may not be able to put asses in the seats like other guys, because all they do is sell tickets to their family and their friends. I can't do that because most of my friends are wrestlers. I can't sell them wrestling tickets. But I may not be able to put asses in the seats. But Sabastan Eros keeps asses in the seats. Because I keep them coming back from home. That's all I have to say about that.
All right. Thanks again, man.
Thank you.